I can still feel the chill of that night, even now, as I sit here piecing it together for you. March 3rd, 2021, a cold, brittle evening in London. The kind where the wind cuts through your jacket and the streets hum with eerie quiet. The city was still under lockdown, a ghost town of shuttered shops and masked faces, clinging to the tail end of a pandemic that had worn us all thin. And there she was, Sarah Everest, 33 years old, stepping out into the darkness, her breath foggy in the air as she started the 4-kilometer walk home. She didn't know it yet, but those steps would be her last. I wasn't there, of course. I didn't know Sarah personally, but I've walked those same streets, felt that same isolation, and now I can't shake her story. It started with a text, 9:28 p.m., her fingers tapping out a quick message to her boyfriend, Josh Lowe. On my way home. See you tomorrow. Nothing unusual. Nothing to hint at the abyss waiting just ahead. Then silence. Her phone went dead, her footsteps faded, and Sarah Everest vanished into night. At first, no one knew what had happened. Not Josh, not her family, not the police who'd soon scour the city for her. But the cameras did. Grainy surveillance footage caught the moment. A white car pulled to the curb, its hazard lights blinking like a predator's eyes in the dark. Sarah stood beside it, talking to a man. Just a few minutes later, she was gone. No struggle, no scream, just gone. That image haunts me. It's the last anyone saw of her alive, and it's where this nightmare begins. I keep asking myself, what was she thinking in those final seconds? Did she feel safe? Uneasy? Did she sense the danger lurking behind that stranger's face? The truth, when it came, would shatter everything, not just for her loved ones, but for an entire nation. Because the man in that car wasn't some random thug or faceless killer. He was a cop, a guardian of the law, and he'd been hunting her. Let me take you back before that night, before the darkness swallowed her whole. Sarah Everest wasn't just a name in a headline. She was a force, a spark, a woman who lit up every room she entered. Born on June 14, 1987, in the quiet northern city of York, she grew up as a youngest in a tight-knit, intellectual family. Her dad, Jamie Everest, was a professor of electronics at the University of York, a man of precision and quiet pride. Her mom, Sue, poured her heart into charity work, always teaching Sarah to give more than she took. With an older brother and sister, Sarah was the baby, the one they all doted on, wrapped in love and expectation. I picture her as a kid, bright-eyed, curious, probably trailing her siblings around the house, soaking up their stories. She had this energy, this warmth that drew people in. By the time she hit her teens, it was clear she was going places. She aced her studies, earned a spot at Durham University, and then set her sights on London. That's where she built her life. Brixton, to be exact, a buzzing corner of the city where she carved out a career in public relations. By 33, she climbed to senior marketing manager at a firm in HB, a job she'd landed just a month before that March night. She was good at it, damn good, turning ideas into campaigns that stuck with people. Then there was Josh. They'd only been together a short while, but it was serious. He was a marketing guy too, a Nottingham grad with a steady smile and a family that adored Sarah. I can imagine their phone calls, her teasing him about some pitch he bombed, him laughing it off, both of them planning a future that felt so close they could touch it. Her friend said she glowed around him, like she found her footing in a world that kept shifting under her feet. But Sarah wasn't reckless. Living through a pandemic had made her careful. Masks, quiet routes, avoiding crowds. She wasn't the type to take risks, which makes what happened even harder to stomach. That night, March 3rd, was special. After months of lockdown, she'd finally gotten to see friends again. She'd just been promoted, and they'd raised a glass to her, a bottle of wine she'd picked up on the way. I see her there, laughing, her blonde hair catching the light, oblivious to the clock ticking down. When she left at 9 p.m., she was still riding that high. She called Josh at 9:13, chatting for 15 minutes as she walked, her voice bright against the night. They hung up with a promise to meet tomorrow. She never made it. I can almost hear her footsteps now, echoing on that empty London street. It's 9:28 p.m., and Sarah's making her way home, For kilometers, a route she's walked before, sticking to quieter paths because that's who she is, cautious, deliberate. She's got her phone in hand, maybe still smiling from that call with Josh. The air's cold, biting at her cheeks, but she's got purpose in her stride. She's thinking about tomorrow, work, Josh, the life she's building. She doesn't see the shadow creeping closer. The cameras do, though. At 9:15, one catches her crossing an intersection, phone pressed to her ear mid-conversation. She looks normal, unhurried. 13 minutes later, another lens spots her on a deserted stretch of Poinders Road. She's alone, walking steadily. The cities hum a distant murmur. That's the last clear shot of her alive. I keep replaying in my head her silhouette against the streetlights, unaware she's stepping into a trap. Then it happens. The footage jumps to 9:28. A white car pulls up beside her, its hazard lights flashing, yellow pulses cutting through the dark. She stops. A man steps out. They talk. It's quick, too quick. For minutes later, she's gone. The car's gone. The street's empty again. I feel my chest tighten just thinking about it. What did he say to her? How did he pull her in so fast? The answer's coming, and it's worse than you could imagine. I try to put myself in her shoes. She's smart, careful. Why'd she stop? Why'd she get in? The night's quiet, but it's not dead. Cars pass, buses rumble nearby. She's not reckless. So something about this guy made her trust him. That's the hook that keeps me up at night. Because when the truth hit, it wasn't just her story that broke. It was all of ours. I woke up the next morning, March 4th, with no idea Sarah was gone. But Josh knew something was wrong. She didn't show for their date, didn't answer her phone. That wasn't her. She was the punctual one, the planner. By 10 a.m., he's at her place, banging on the door. Nothing. He checks her office. Nothing. Panic sets in, raw and jagged. He calls the police, voice shaking, telling them this isn't like her. I can feel his dread, that sinking realization that the world's tilting off its axis. The cops move fast. By afternoon, they're combing her route, pulling footage, knocking on doors. London's a big place, but it feels small when someone vanishes like that. I imagine the officers, tense, focused, piecing together her last hours. They find the 9:15 clip, Sarah at the intersection. Then the 9:28 one, the white car. It's a jolt, a lead, but it's not enough. Where'd she go? Who's in that car? The city starts buzzing. News hits social media. Sarah Everest, 33, missing. Josh posts online pleading. She's still out there. Help us find her. I scroll through those early posts now, and the desperation cuts deep. Hundreds share it. Strangers clutching at hope. The police ramp up dogs, forensics, door-to-door interviews. They talk to 750 households, field 120 tip calls. Nothing sticks. Days drag on, and the silence grows heavier. I keep thinking about her family, Jamie and Sue, her siblings, waiting for news that doesn't come. Every dead-end call must have felt like a punch. And the public? Were hooked? Horrified, whispering theories. Was it random? Planned? The lockdowns got us all on edge, but this, it's personal. Then, on March 5th, the breakthrough. Bus cameras catch that white car again. Sarah's there, head down, hands cuffed. Cuffed. My stomach drops. A woman on the bus later says, I thought it was an arrest. She didn't fight. Arrested? By who? The answer's coming, and it's a gut wrench. I'll never forget the moment it clicked. March 9th, 2021. The police name him. Wayne Cousin, 48, a serving officer with the Metropolitan Police. Not some drifter or thug, but a cop, a guy with a badge, a gun, a wife and kids back in Kent. The man who'd stood by that white car wasn't a stranger. He was the law, and he'd used it to snare Sarah. I dig into him, trying to understand the monster behind the uniform. Cousins wasn't new to this. He'd been rotting inside for years. Back in 2008, a woman named Emma Wilson caught him exposing himself while she pushed her stroller. She never forgot his face. In 2015, he flashed the driver. Case dropped. 2020, he's naked on a rural road. masturbating in front of another woman. No follow-up. Days before Sarah, he's at a McDonald's drive-thru, showing off his dick to the cashier. Camera caught it all. License plate, card digits. Reported, ignored. 13 years of red flags, and he's still patrolling, still trusted. That night, he clocked out after a 12-hour shift guarding diplomats. Instead of going home, he rented that white car in Dover, a premeditated move that chills me to the bone. He drove to London, prowling, waiting. Then he saw her. Sarah, alone, vulnerable. I imagine his mind, cold, methodical, buzzing with power. He flashes his badge, spins a lie about lockdown violations. She's cautious, but he's authority. She complies. I see her climbing into that car, trusting him, because we're taught to trust him. For minutes after that 9:28 text, she's his. What happened next is a void we can only guess at. He drives her to Dover, switches to his black car at 11:31 p.m. She's restrained, helpless, for over 2 hours. He's off the grid. I don't want to picture it, the terror, the betrayal, but I can't look away. By 2:34 a.m., he's at a gas station buying water alone. Sarah's gone. He'd taken her to Holdswood in Kent, a desolate stretch of forest. That's where he ended her. I'm with the investigators now, chasing that white car. They traced the plates, rental from Dover, linked to Cousins. March 9th, they storm his house. He's there, stammering, I don't know her. But his eyes give him away, shifty, panicked. The noose is tightening. Forensics hit Holdswood, and what they find stops me cold. A charred nylon bag, a body inside, burned beyond recognition. Nearby, a blackened fridge, his twisted attempt to destroy her. It's Sarah. The black car seals it. Blood on the seats, a broken SIM card, his semen in the cabin. It's a crime scene on wheels, and he's sloppy. I see him unraveling. Hands shaking at a convenience store, clutching hot chocolate, like it'll wash away the guilt. He buys gas, nylon bags, a tarp off Amazon, frantic to bury his sin. But you can't outrun this. The police piece it together. Abduction at 9:32, murder in those lost hours, disposal by dawn. He's back at work, emailing about stress, while Sarah's family begs for answers. I feel their agony, the betrayal sinking deeper with every clue. March 10th, he's charged. The nation watches stunned as the cop becomes a killer. I'm in the courtroom, late September 2021. Cousins sits there, a statue, silent, hollow. For months, he denied it, but the evidence crushes him. He pleads guilty. On September 30th, the judge hands down life without parole, a rare final sentence. Justice, sure, but it's ash in my mouth. Sarah's gone, and we're left picking up the pieces. The public explodes. Protests flood Clapham Common, where she was taken. Hundreds and thousands screaming for change. I see women my age, clutching flowers, tears streaking their faces. The Duchess of Cambridge slips in quietly, laying a wreath, a royal nod to a common grief. But it's not enough. We're raging because Cousins wasn't fluke. He was a symptom. Complaints ignored, warnings buried. If they'd stopped him at McDonald's, Sarah might still be here. The Met scrambles, issuing tips. Question a cop if you're unsure. It's laughable. Cousins was real, and Sarah couldn't have escaped. The PM weighs in. The Home Secretary promises probes, but trust shattered. I feel it too. Walking home now, I scan every shadow, every uniform. I dig deeper, and it's worse than I thought. Cousins wasn't invisible. Colleagues knew he was off, nicknamed him the rapist for his creepy vibes. Yet he stayed, badge and all, for 13 years. The Met's bleeding credibility. Chiefs resign. Reforms stall. Samantha Lee, a cop who botched a McDonald's probe, gets a slap on the wrist. 12 other failures pile up, all ignored. I'm furious, but I'm scared too. If a predator can hide behind a badge, who's safe? Women march, demanding answers. Tighter vetting, real oversight. Will it happen? I doubt it'll bring peace. Sarah's death cracked something fundamental, and we're still reeling. I think about Sarah every day, not just a tragedy, but who she was. A daughter, a friend, a dreamer. She didn't deserve this, but her story's waking us up. I walk those streets now, and I see her, a reminder to fight, to fix what's broken. She's not just a victim. She's a spark. And I'll keep telling her story, because forgetting her would be the real crime.